Please take your seats. To open the event, I'm honored to present former member of Knesset, Orly Foreman. Orly, please come. Orly is Maccabi World Union Deputy Chairman, Maccabiah Deputy Chairman, Maccabi Israel Executive Member, and an Executive Member of the World Jewish Sports Museum. Orly, please.
Wow. Good morning. Good morning, Maccabi World Union Women's. Oh, I'm so excited. I am sure that you too. Are you? Yes. Thanks for being with us here in Israel. It means a lot of us. It's our honor to have with us my colleague, Shirley Pinto. She is also a former Knesset member. And Shirley is promoting people with disabilities rights. And just now, she came back from London and she met the people of Maccabi London there. So thank you, Shirley, to be with us. To be with us now and go more. I have been a member of Maccabi for many years, all the way from Maccabi Tza'ir, Maccabi athlete. I was a handball player. Donna, you want to come to the court? Where are you? I know basketball, handball. Maccabiah games, and in today's role in Maccabi's leadership. For years, I was a female minority with a unique voice. Double meaning. About a year ago, during the previous Congress, Shirit, Ronit, and myself, independently, felt the need for a change, and we decided to act. When looking around at nations, communities, business organizations, and movements, it is clear that a change from the men's leading world to equal contribution leaderships needs to happen and already happening in some places based on the understanding of our capabilities, qualities, and ability to contribute and to lead. Look at our contribution at the IDF that was exploded in today's war. Our women soldiers and commanders were amazing, unbelievable stories, well-deserved an applause. And to the contrary, look at our government. It is so clear that women's way of thinking is missing, both in general government decision and also, yes, in the war leading form. With that, we decided to establish Maccabi Women's Forum. And it is great honor for me to open our first gathering here in Israel. This is our time to make an impact, influence the future of Maccabi World Union and women's leadership in our movement. But while discussing how to structure the framework and create the network between the women of the movement, the war broke out on October 7. And we were immediately drawn into the management of the evacuee center that was here in Kfar Maccabiah, and increasing the awareness campaign, Women Speak Up, on the complex and terrible issue of sexual terrorism. But we didn't give up on our original plan. And here we are in the founding event, launching the Maccabi Global Movement Women's Forum. Our main goal is to build the women's leadership in Maccabi. I have a great faith in every one of you. Believe in your strengths and experience you bring from home. We can lead a significant culture change. Yes, it's a culture change in our movement, and lead Maccabi to new heights. With the help of our unique perspective, vast abilities, and experience, we will succeed empowering women, cultivate and develop a generation of young women leaders. The FLF women, are you here? Yes. Inspired by leading women in different and diverse fields, and integrate into the movement's leadership in the communities around the world and in the worldwide management and board executive of MWU. Our movement is the most significant Zionist Jewish sports movement in the world. As such, it is necessary to increase the presence of female athletes. We need to encourage young girls to join the sport and to develop them, to encourage women to become coaches and referees in various sports, and certainly to take role in the management of the sport association in the communities. Our goal of women presence in sport is easily quantified. We meet every 4 years here in Israel in the Maccabiah Games, and in between in the regional games in Europe, in USA, and South America. So it's really easy to know if we achieved the goal. Dear friends, we have a golden opportunity for a significant change in our movement. All of us together and each one of you in her community. We will make our voice heard. We will be there to lead. We will be part of the decision-making points. And we will take, thank you. And we will take a significant active part in leadership of Maccabi World Union, our movement. Thank you, my dear colleagues from Israel Women's Forum, for leading this important task. Shirit, Ronit, Ilana, Vered, Meirav, Reut, Lilach, and Alma, without you, this wouldn't have happened. Thank you very much, my dear colleagues. My dear friends, good luck to all of us. Good luck to every one of you. Chazak ve'ematz. And now I'm honored to invite my dear colleague, Lisa Bowick from Australia. Lisa is the leader that I'm talking about, okay? She was the president of Maccabi Australia. She was the chair of the International Finance Committee. It's very important, finance, in our movement, because finance and women in the men's head is not going together. I don't know why. Lisa was the head of the Australian delegation to the Pan American Maccabi Games twice and attended 6 Maccabiah Games, was the first woman in the International Sport Committee, the chair of the English-speaking desk, and the member of Kfar Maccabi committee. And now, Lisa is the vice president of Maccabi World Union. Here, Lisa, please.
Wow. Thank you so much, Orly, and thank you to everyone for being here. Just, I'm going to reverse the clock a little bit and tell you about a 9-year-old girl who was very cross with her parents. In 1977, they disappeared for 4 weeks to a place called Israel. This isn't something that I knew about. I was so cross with my mother, who came as a physiotherapist for the Australian team, the first woman to do so, and my father, who was the honorary photographer. They came to Israel to this event I knew nothing about. They came home with uniforms and T-shirts and flags and colours. And at school, I was in the sporting house that was yellow, named after a very influential and wonderful Jewish man, Sir John Monash, who rose to incredible heights in the Australian community. And Monash House was yellow. I hated the colour yellow. And what did my parents come home with for me? A yellow Canadian tracksuit. When I first put it on, and I'm sorry, I probably should have bought the photo, the arms were here, the legs were here. I was 9. By the time I stopped wearing that beloved yellow tracksuit, it was like shorts. But I said to my mother, and I have incredible respect, and I'll explain why further in a moment about my mother, Rachel. I said to my mother, I'm going to that event one day. I don't know how. I played basketball. I played softball. I played table tennis. I was really bad at tennis. I had a go at anything. I said, I'm going. I don't even know where Israel is on the map. I'm going. Anyway, the next year, I was again cross with my mother because she went to the Commonwealth Games. And this time, she was the first woman to go and be a medical personnel to the boxing team, the Australian boxing team in Edmonton. Again, this Canada shtick, I don't know. Welcome to our Canadian friends. And I always saw, and my mother got involved with Australian rules, and I always saw they had to change the constitution of her football club in Australia, the Ajax Football Club, to make her a life member. They had never had a woman contribute more than 15 years as a volunteer. And I thought, this is ridiculous. How is it women who rule the world in one respect are ignored in so many? And I was very lucky, and I think Australian women, and I acknowledge my beautiful Australian colleagues here, we're very lucky in Australia that we don't always have the barriers. There are barriers, of course, but we've been very lucky that there are people there and in Maccabi and outside of Maccabi who have not tried to stop us from taking the roles we deserve and haven't necessarily pushed us forward just because we're women. On the contrary, we've had to fight pretty hard. And when Orly and Ronit and Ilana and when I heard about this whole functionality that we are trying to achieve, it was a no-brainer. Why haven't we at Maccabi World Union come together, not just to promote women, but to support and embrace with our hearts and our soul to actually allow women to move forward. And of course, it's cultural change. All is 100% correct. But if we don't support each other, if we don't speak up, then we allow our voices to be diminished. And I'm sorry, sometimes I'm very shy. Most of you who know me know that I'm not. But I'm not prepared to be in a position just as a name or a face or an extra. And yes, I'm very honoured to be a vice president of Maccabi World Union. But unless next time there's an election, there aren't more women involved in the organisation, then why was I here? And all of you, especially the women from the Future Leaders Forum, you all have an incredible voice and an incredible role to play. But that can only happen. We don't need anyone's permission to step up and be true to ourselves and to deliver the potential that we have. But we do need a warm hug and embrace. Yesterday was a very difficult day for a lot of us. We toured the South. It was awful. Nothing nice to say. But there was an unbelievable woman that we met with, Noah Levin, at the Shura Army Base, who does work that is unimaginable to any of us. She prepares bodies for burial. And something she said struck me, and I couldn't sleep last night. I had to have an extra coffee this morning. She said, it's an honour and a privilege to make sure that everybody's identity is respected. And here they are dealing, and my heart and our hearts generally go out to everybody living here, everybody around the world. We've all been traumatised, but especially people here. She said, for her, it's an honour to make sure that every woman is respected and accorded the respect they deserve in burial. And I thought, there's nothing we can say, of course. We all say amen to that. But actually, every woman during her life deserves to be respected. And we can't tolerate the violence and the horrible, horrendous situations that we've heard. And thankfully, we may not have seen ourselves, but we've heard and we've been witness to. And if the small message of hope that we have from someone who spends all day giving people dignity so that, you know, the mitzvah of them actually being buried properly can be done, then we have an opportunity now to step up. And not just to step up and to go home and say, hi, I'm a woman, put me in a position. That's not how it works. I got to chair the International Finance Committee, not because I happened to turn up, but I spoke up. I sat at a meeting surrounded by lots of men. I knew as much as they did, and I pushed myself to contribute. And we must all push ourselves to contribute. And if you're not sure, grab someone's hand. There's always someone next to you who will give you that hug, as Noah said, the hug that she gets from people, whether it's virtual or real, gives her the strength to continue with her role. And we need, in turn, to give each other a hug. So I guess my closing comment, and I think the beautiful thing about today is not so much that people speak at us, but that we speak together. We have the opportunity to talk, to learn about each other. I can't believe the number of skills and qualities and achievements just in this room. And I haven't even spoken to half of you. I hope I get a chance to over the next few days. And I hope you get a chance to come and talk to me, because the more we learn about the skills and the qualities and share what we can do, then we enable and empower us all to have a greater role and a more meaningful role in anything we do. So please get together. Don't be shy. It's an uncomfortable position when you walk into a room and there's only men. It's very hard to go and talk to people. You notice they're closed. In a room, they're generally So the thing to do is go and introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Tell them where you come from. Tell them what you like. Me, I took up field hockey aged 50. I still admit to, I am in my mid-50s. I got to play with my daughters. Why did I take up field hockey? Because we didn't have a women's team. We only had women playing in a men's team. You can find a small carrot. There's always an opportunity to make a difference. But actually, and if you're not sure, ask someone for help. That's the one thing women do better than anyone. All too often, we say, and we defer to someone else. Don't defer, have a go. What can happen? You might end up Vice President of Maccabi World Union. In closing, I want to acknowledge everybody, especially the beautiful women who thought that this was important. And it's something that many of us who've been coming for many years have seen, that there's a lack of women, but we didn't necessarily have it's not the authority. We've connected. A lot of us know each other, but we didn't have the impetus to make it happen. And I take my hat off to you, and I acknowledge and appreciate all the amazing work of so many. And I guess we all pray as we come into this Shabbat that bring them home now. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, and I'm honored to invite my colleague, Ronit Neeman. Ronit is the chair of Maccabi World Union European Desk, and also our representative to the Presidium of the World Zionist Organization. Ronit, please.
I just want to mention that with us today, there is also women that have joined us over Zoom. So hi, and thank you for joining. Okay, so we would like now to present to you what we prepared for today, and we'll start with our mission statement. We would like to establish a global network, active women's leaders, in order to influence the future of Maccabi World Union and women's leadership in the movement by increasing the presence of women in territorial and local management. And I would like to jump for a moment to the slide that shows you the numbers that we gathered regarding the numerical percentage of women in the management of the various bodies of Maccabi World Union. I think that the numbers speak for themselves. Oh, this presentation will be sent to you. You'll have the information. You'll be able to use it. And those who come to the European desk will hear it a second time. So I must positively mention that the process that has been taken place in Israel in recent years to include more women, and we hope that we're on the right path, and hope that this will be the case all over the world. I know that there are several countries that can be an excellent example for us, and I think that Australia is one of them, so we'll be very happy to learn from you. So going back, hopefully going back. Yeah, I assume it is such a strong message here that it doesn't want to go. Thank you very much. So going back to the reason that we're doing it is we want to increase the number of women in central roles in the movement, not only the number of their presence, but also what they do there, what their roles will be. Promoting women's leadership in sports, and advancing leadership skills for the next generation of women leaders, which I see here and very happy to see them with us.
Sorry to interrupt, but can you share the slides, please? We only see, yeah.
Yes, yeah, we're taking care of it. Hi, Daniela.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Jessica. Hi, everybody. Okay, that will be sent to you. So even if, do you see it now?
Yes, yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So now now it doesn't move. We'll do it like this. Let's use it. Ken? I'm using it. So two more reasons that we mentioned in the mission statement. We would like to strengthen the ties between the Jewish communities and Israel by initiating international projects according to the needs of the hour. And I think that what happened at the 7th of October is a good example of it. And Shirit will tell us all about it in a few minutes, for the benefits of Israel and the Jewish communities around the world. And then creating a strong women's network, 100 women in 100 cities, which is a campaign that we have been launching, and we'll talk about that also. The third reason is to bring this to the table and promote issues that are relevant to women and to women's perspective. I think this is basically even the first reason, and we would love to hear from you what we can do, what can be added. We already realize that there are different perspectives and ideas and thoughts that are coming from the different countries, and we will, of course, learn from it and embrace it. Here we are. So as you can see, we prepared a suggestion for the structure. And this structure is built according to the way other entities are built in Maccabi. We would like to establish an international committee, and together we will develop the strategy and the details related to the establishment of the local forums. Already today, we have on board amazing women with extraordinary strength and knowledge, and together we will fill this structure that you can see in front of yourself. We will fill it with a lot of meaning. The Israeli committee that initiated and established the forum will continue to lead the global effort, and as our goal is to create a broad women's forum in Israel, and of course, forums around the world. You can see the different issues that we are going to promote in different ways. Women's presence that I mentioned before, and you saw the numbers, significant roles, leadership skills, and I am sure there's so much to learn from all the amazing women here. Leadership in sports as well, maybe the first issue, and of course the international projects that will, as I said, will be based on the need of the hour, and every year we'll decide on what we're going to do next together. Not used to this. Here we are. Yep. 100 women in 100 cities. Local Maccabi women's forums that will promote the above issues. The above issues meaning all the ones that we just talked about: women's presence, women's leadership, women's sports, women's network, and we'll promote it in the countries, in their cities, and we'll take part in the international projects. Oh, that asks for very high skills to move it this way. Have to work on that. How are we going to do that? So we would like to do that by proposing guidelines for Maccabi World Union Constitution for the exclusion of women, creating a scale of integrating more women over the several years. We would like to do working in collaboration with Education Department, the Sports Department, and Maccabi World Union territorial desks. Once a year, we will choose a leading global project for the next year. And there is one more thing that we would like to do in order to achieve all that, and that's an annual Maccabi Women's Forum Summit. And I will talk about that a little bit later, something very exciting coming upon us. So, again, skills. I need to, I need to introduce you and I can't find it. Although I know who you are. Shirit Chaim, Zaks Chaim is our honorary secretary of Maccabi World Union, but I want to say it in the formal right way. So do you have the, I don't have it here with me for some reason, or maybe later. Needs to be officially done, properly done. Thank you very much. Shirit Chaim, my good friend, is Maccabi World Union's honorary secretary and chair of the Maccabiah Educational Department. Please, I would like to present you to continue the presentation. Sorry about this one.
So I'm insisting on the Zaks Chaim. We are 4 sisters, and all of us kept the Zaks. We are the only Zaks in our family, so we are all Zaks and something else, but definitely Zaks. Here in Maccabi, I'm more Zaks than Chaim. So my part in this presentation is to share with you what we did with our campaign of sexual terrorism. So I will start in taking you to last September, 2 weeks before Rosh Hashanah. We had our first only women gathering. No, it was like that. Of 15 Israeli lay leaders from the Maccabi World Union and the Maccabiah boards. We had like a very nice and moving meeting, and we ended that brainstorm meeting because there was a lot of ideas in that meeting, understanding that there is a lot to do in order to develop women leadership in the movement. And our gathering, that gathering was just the beginning. At that time, we didn't know to say what will be the exact goals and actions, but we understand that there is a big chance and also a challenge. And we scheduled our second meeting to, I just went to my WhatsApp notes to see when it was. We scheduled a meeting to October 24. And as you understand, it didn't happen. And what happened on October 7 happened. And sometimes around mid-November, I think it was, after intensive days that each one of us was involved in different volunteering actions related to the war, we understood that we must take an action and use the strength and the power of being part of a global movement in order to echo and speak up against the roaring silence of the world and doing for all the victims of sexual terrorism, and to do something and to do what we can do on our behalf, that we have people around the world and communities around the world, in order to people will know and condemn and won't be silent. And at that point, we launched the campaign of the sexual terrorism is not a matter of context, which I believe that you all familiar with. And I want to share with you, we decided instead of going through slides, I want to share with you a short video that basically summarized what was done since December. העכבר, לא, אני יודעת, העכבר לא, אין עכבר. לא? העכבר, לא. I must say that usually I'm holding that thought that what can you do more? But when I see it, and I saw it several times, and I'm very involved, first it's moving and I feel fulfilled and proud, but definitely feel that we have more to do. So I want to continue because this is what we did until now. And I believe that most of you, if not all of you, heard or even saw the horrific video that was released on Tuesday of the 4 female soldiers observers that were taken as hostages to Gaza. When you see this video, you understand that we must continue. We must continue to act and speak up and make sure that more and more people are exposed to what happened on October 7 and since then in Gaza. And most of all, we need to do everything we can to bring them back home. So we'll share also for those who didn't see, because I think that it's important, we'll see the short movie, because I think that, seeing that also, make us, give us the efforts and understand that this is really our duty.
يا كلاب والله لا ندعس عليكم يا كلاب يا عم يا شباب يا عم بالراحه يا عم شباب صلوا على النبي ما حدش ضاب صوروا يا كلاب والله لا ندعس عليكم يا كلاب يا عم يا شباب
Stuck. Okay. We'll continue and כן. בלי פוליטיקה. אוקיי. הם שמו את זה ביוטיוב, הם היחידים. Okay, we will try to show it later, and if someone wants, we can send the link. What I said before, and before showing this short movie, this is really connect me to our next steps and what we are going to do to continue. So I can tell you that we were very honored when Sheryl Sandberg, after she heard what we did during the last months, she reached us to collaborate, asking us to encourage our communities and Maccabi people to screen her well-done documentary, Screen Before Silence, that we showed it yesterday here in the Congress. I want to share with you a short video with some words that Sheryl wanted to say to us, and then I'll tell you about our next campaign.
Thank you all for coming together to watch Screams Before Silence. And thank you to Maccabi Women's Forum for supporting this documentary and for helping to organize screenings in your communities across the country. Following Hamas's horrific attacks, events like this one are more important than ever. By gathering to watch this documentary, you are helping to make sure the victims and survivors of October 7th are heard. This has become the most important work of my life because the politics of today and the polarization we face are making us turn a blind eye to something that should be completely obvious. Sexual assault is never okay. Sexual violence is never okay. Rape is never and will never be resistance. No matter what you believe should happen in the Middle East, all of us should be able to come together to condemn the sexual violence of October 7th. Instead, so many years after we established that we believe women, too many people are ignoring or even worse, denying this truth. And that's why this film is so important. This documentary enables everyone to hear directly from first responders, experts, and released hostages. It gives all of us the opportunity to bear witness. As we hear the stories from women who are not here to speak for themselves, we become their voice. We show the world what we are up against. We vow this will never happen again, and we scream after their silence.
So right after the Congress, we're going to launch a digital campaign aimed to raise awareness and call to immediately release of the female hostages, with a call for action of a mass distribution of Sheryl Sandberg documentary, which is unfortunately, a great tool to really bring to the world what happened on October 7th. So for those of you who didn't see the movie, I really encourage you to see. It's not an easy one, but a very important one. And I also say, because I already start speaking with people that saw the movie yesterday, and as a part of you also been part of our Zoom meetings, that I wish that I could say that this project ended because we can move to the second one, and like more positive one, but unfortunately, we are still in the situation that we must take an action and use the strengths and the power of the movement in order to continue to act in this area of sexual terrorism and the call of the release of the hostages. So we will continue to work with you and your community to see how we can continue to speak up. Thank you.
A little difficult to go from this subject to what I want to talk about, which is supposed to be very uplifting, but apparently this is our life, definitely here in Israel, that we move from tearing to smiling. And so the annual Maccabi Women's Forum Summit. This is going to be an inspiring global gathering that will take place each year in a different city as a part of our campaign of 100 women in 100 cities, where local forums are being established, using the unique and powerful advantage of Maccabi as an international organization that has presence in all 6 continents. This summit will bring together incredible women like yourselves, forming lifetime friendships and powerful professional connections. The objectives in this initiative are to generate continuity, interest, engagement, and a sense of belonging and exclusivity for the women of the forum. To advance the Maccabi Women's Forum as an active global network of women leaders, and to create an inviting and promoting marketing tool for the 100 women in 100 cities around the world. In conversations that I had about the establishments of Maccabi Women's Forum with women here in Israel and also around the world, especially now when I travel to Europe, there were several questions that always came up. How to attract women to join the Women's Forum? How do we help establish the forums at the various cities, especially in cities where female presence in Maccabi activities is very limited? What will be the magnet that will make women who have not been in Maccabi until now? How will we make them join? Well, we believe that an international women's gathering that will be inspiring and empowering and will bring professional and personal growth will help attract women from their local communities to join the Women's Forum, especially when it comes to forum with quality women, leaders from all over the world. It is interesting, it's exciting, it is very attractive. We think that that summit will produce added value not found in other organizations to all participants. Being a part of a global organization is a powerful advantage, and the yearly gathering will be great exclusive benefit. We want to establish a platform to share experiences, to collaborate on projects, to enable learning, personal and professional growth, and enhance leadership skills, renew motivation and sense of purpose, empowerment and inspiration, and enable women to be part of something really extraordinary. We'll need your help to do that, and we really hope that you find it exciting and amazing as we do. We'll start working on it with one of our 100 women in 100 cities, one of the head of the local forums, who will initiate it in her community and will, of course, create some kind of a committee and work through in order to be able to do something that will have all those inspiring parts. I'm very, very proud and happy and honored to present to you the first women, the first 6 women that joined and gave their, decided that they are going to be the head of their local women's forum. Some of them will probably even benefit us on a wider way, in a wider way in the country and in the global organization. And I would like to introduce to you the women that, that joined us already. Dr. Nicole Wintinsky is the Maccabi Women's Forum leader in Stockholm, Sweden. And I think she's with us, and hopefully she heard the clapping. Nicole is a dentist and a researcher who practices in a private clinic in Stockholm and also gives lectures and courses both nationally and internationally. She's on the advisory board of a female global dental organization, Nobel Biocare Aesthetics Group. With Maccabi, she's involved in the Swedish Maccabi soccer community. In 2022, she helped leading the girls 14 to 16 of age soccer team to the Maccabiah game. Nicole is married to Peter and a mother to 3. Yafa Cohen Yifrach. Yafa is a Maccabi Women's Forum leader in Manhattan, New York. Yafa is the Global Chief Marketing Officer and Head of Investor Relations at Sapiens International. Prior to joining Sapiens, Yafa held various leadership positions in marketing and investor relations at leading companies like Vitek Systems, Strauss, Global, Adama, Victoria's Secret, and Saks Fifth Avenue. Yafa was Chanicha, Madricha, and Bogeret of Maccabi Tzair Nes Ziona. Yafa is married to Yariv and has 2 children. Donna Orenda, who is here. Donna is Maccabi Women's Forum leader in the United States, and we really appreciate your joining us. Donna is a highly respected corporate business leader, having led growth and innovation in several high-profile companies. She has been recognized as one of the top 10 most powerful women in sports and one of Newsweek's 100 most influential people in the business of sports and media. She's also a best-selling author with her 2018 release of Wowdsome. Did I say it right? The Girl's Guide to the Positive and the Possible. Amazing. Dana is an officer of the board and commissioner of basketball of Maccabi. Deb Lichtenfeld. Did I say? She's with us. Deb is a Maccabi Women's Forum leader in Burlington, Vermont. Deb is a professional in fundraising and philanthropy. She has been involved in Maccabi movement over 20 years, holding various volunteer roles. Most recently, she was a co-chair to the US delegation to the Pan American Maccabi Games in Buenos Aires and is an officer of the board of Maccabi USA. Deb is using her 25 and more years of career to help develop Maccabi World Union's presence and impact in North America. Deb is married to Jeff and has 3 children. And thank you, Deb. Jessica Browner. Hi, Jessica. Jessica is the Maccabi Women's Forum leader in Berlin, Germany. Jessica is a photographer and a businesswoman, born, raised, and still lives in Berlin. Maccabi Berlin was reestablished in 1970s. One of the founders of Maccabi then was Jessica's aunt, Maria Brauner, and her friend, Inga Broker. Jessica joined Maccabi for the first time in the early 70s. She's one of Maccabi Germany volunteer photographers, and since 2021, she's a board member of Maccabi Berlin. Jessica is a mother and a grandmother. Jessica is the one that I met in Berlin a few weeks ago, and together we started talking about this opportunity of putting the summit together. Hopefully, she said that she would like to be the first one to hold the summit over there, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. Thank you, Jessica. Daniela Coronel. Daniela is a Maccabi Women's Forum leader in Amsterdam who will mentor a younger leader from Amsterdam FLF to take over. She's already getting into working on it. Daniela is a freelance communications professional. She has been actively involved with Maccabi in the Netherlands for several decades in different roles and positions. In 2017, she co-founded Maccabi Football in the Netherlands. Last April, Daniela initiated a Maccabi Women's Network group that now includes nearly 100 participants from various sectors, including politics, media, business, and Jewish organizations. Daniela is the mother of 2 daughters. Thank you very much, Daniela. I call Shirit to take the next step. את צריכה לעלות גם כן. שירית, כן. I'm calling upon you to lead the next session, the next part.
So when we spoke who is going to lead this part, they said, you have to lead it because you are the honorary secretary. And it's very funny because the name, I have to change the name of this position. I'm working on it, but it's a very formal role. And I try to bring to the movement some of the informal part of me. But I'm here on behalf of my formal role. As was mentioned before, part of the actions that we have to do is also formally, and because the movement has its constitution, it's very important that all has to do with women and equality will be also in the constitution. So what we did is we wrote a suggestion that we will vote in order to bring it by the end of the Congress. And when the Constitution Committee will gather, Ilana, remind me when it's going to be? Next year. So we will have it already prepared and agreed. So you have it there. I will read it. So it's a proposed resolution to add the Women's Forum to the Maccabi World Union Constitution. The Congress will establish an international women's forum. The forum will work to bring to the table and to promote issues that are relevant to women and women's perspective. The forum will work to advance women leadership by increasing the presence of women in territorial and local management, increasing the number of women in central roles in the movement, promoting women's leadership in sports, and advancing leadership skills of the next generation of women leaders. The forum will work to strengthen the ties between Jewish communities and Israel by initiating international projects according to the needs of the hour, for the benefits of women in Israel and the Jewish communities around the world. The forum will work on creating a global network of active women leadership. The structure of the forum will be similar to the structure of other entities in the movement: International Committee, Funding and Development Committee that will be based in Israel, and Israeli board and forum in various cities around the world. The forum will include all women who are members of the executive board in Israel and women who are members of executive boards in every TOs and confederations. The forum will include women who will take it upon themselves to be the head of the forum in their cities, in their city, or of residence around the world, and women who will join the local forums around the world. There will be an adequate representation of the Women's Forum in all international Israeli committees of Maccabi World Union. The forum will appoint an Israeli chair and international chair who will serve for a period of 4 years or until the next Congress, at which new forum chair will be elected. Chairs may be elected to a limited number of 2 consecutive terms. Okay. So now we have to do the formal part and vote. So please raise your hand if you're okay with our suggestion. Huh?
Raise it on for the photographer. All the hands.
Yeah, better.
ואני אחרייך אגיד שאני מזמינה לה להצטרף.
בסדר. So, בזום. So we understand that it's really just the beginning, very excited, but we meet only once a year. So it was very important to us to create the next step to meet and to start working on it. So we put a save the date. I think that it's a week before Rosh Hashanah. So it will be also a very opportunity to have like a global Aramat Kosit for the next for Rosh Hashanah, and to wish all of us a good year. So please, we also will send it, but you can already write it in your in your diaries. September 24. It will be on Zoom, definitely. Israel time. We have a challenge to make it for all of us in a time that will be good for us, between North America to Australia. So we have to do it somewhere between those who are going to wake up early and those who will go sleep late. Ronit, please.
So, to conclude this amazing morning, I would like to urge you to join our 100 Women in 100 Cities. There's so many cities that are still waiting for the forums to establish. Here we have one over there. Anyone? I suggest that anyone that is willing to lead her forum at her city, please come to us, and and we'll be very happy to discuss that. We have a very short extra time, but we would love to hear. Right, we are planning to take a photo of all of us, but we would like to. Okay, so we have something like 15 minutes, and we would love to get your thoughts, your comments, please. Do we have one? There is. Yes. Yes. Shirita, it's על נעליים. So just one second, we have Claudia, would you please come here? Please.
Sam, in a minute.
Very simple. Hi, good morning to everybody. Thanks to Ilana, we have a wonderful WhatsApp group. But what we don't know actually is the email address on who is who. Now we see each other, we see the small picture. So I would like, if possible, if you can share a list of those who were here this morning, their short who is who and the introduction and their smiles, because it's very important for us to connect, even not formally but informally, and this, I think, it's the most important challenge of our Maccabi. Kol hakavod to everybody, and thanks, many thanks.
Okay, good morning.
Introduce yourself.
Sure, Sam Cohen, Maccabi baby from Maccabi GB, and now in New York as the director of the JCC Maccabi Games for JCC Association. Firstly, kol hakavod to all the amazing women in this room who are already leading this effort, and thank you. I have a comment, and then I have a suggestion or some feedback. The comment I just want to make on a personal note is Maccabi has been the place for my entire life that I feel the most sense of belonging and pride, and the place where I've had my most significant professional and personal relationships, leadership roles, and so on and so forth. And it's also been the place where I've had some of my only experiences of being a female who feels, which is a crazy contradiction in my life. And being in this room today has just been really inspiring and gives me a lot of hope. And I'm really, anything I can do, I will talk more. I want to be part of this. I'm really excited to be part of this incredible group and to help grow it and move it forward. So thank you on a personal note. Just a suggestion. I think that Maccabi, when we come to Congress, like we see all these committees and structures, and both the formal and informal, and all the numbers speak about the lack of women across the board in all these positions. Just a suggestion as we move forward would be to ask the leadership of Maccabi World Union to make some sort of like conversation and presentation to us about the structures that exist and what the roles are, almost like a program fair, like a leadership fair, to share some of the things, because what happens now, it's a network, the Boys Club network, people get informally asked to join a committee, to chair something, to whatever. And many of us in this room are probably thinking we would love to take on a role, we'd love to get involved, but we actually don't even know what the roles are and what exists. So on a practical level, I'd love in the next year for that opportunity.
Part of changing culture.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I want to call. Okay. I want to call Shirley Pinto. Reut. Yalla.
Okay, so I was trying to say I had a conversation with Sam, and one of the things that came up, I had a conversation during the Congress, is that it's not just to take a position, but there's also right now the ability to co-chair committees and to you know what I mean? Like the change can happen from now and not for the next Maccabi Games or so. So this is something that just to put everyone in the same mindset of not like for the future, but also starting today. Okay, sorry. I'm Reut, one of the forum's founders. And I'm a board member of Maccabi World Union, and I'm a member of the organizing committee for the next games. And I'm really, really, really excited to be in this room. I've taken pictures of everyone because it's almost unbelievable. So yeah, and I've been to Maccabi for the last 15 years. So.
I would like to invite Shirley, an ex-Knesset member.
Okay, it's too close for her. אני צריכה לראות אותה.
Okay, עדיף.
Yes. Thank you very much. How you can see, I'm a deaf person, so I have my interpreter to translation me from Israeli Sign Language to English. It's not easy. So good morning, everyone, and thank you. I wanted to say a big thank you to Orly about this forum. I cannot hear your clap, so we're doing this like that in sign language. Thank you, Orly, to inviting me to this forum and to create this forum, the women from around the world. And we met each other when I was very young. You was a member of the Knesset, and we met one of the committee of the Knesset about we talk about people with disability rights. And since then, I'm really happy to be here with all these wonderful women that came from all the place of the world. And I think in this time, a very difficult and hard time, to see all of us together, it's a little light for me. So it's very excited for me to see you here in Israel, our homeland. And I really want to take my offer to these women firms to lead. I thought about it, to make a voice for the woman with disability. Unfortunately, there is a lot of women that with disability in sport, in the Paralympics, and also in more association, a deaf woman in soccer, basketball, swimming pool, tennis, a lot of kind of sport. But unfortunately, those women with disability don't get these platforms. So I really hope to bring them here to be part of us and to promote women with disability in the sport. So thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Thank you. Who wanted before?
Someone else?
I'm Deb Lichtenfeld. You saw me up there. I'm so honored to be here. I agree with everything everyone has said, especially Sam, that Maccabi has been you can hear me? Maccabi has been such a place of personal and professional growth, and the support I feel from the women I already know in this room, and I'm sure the women I am yet to know, is invaluable in my life. And I wanted to thank everyone for all the hard work. It's incredible. It's just, Sharit makes it seem like it's just a little idea and I'm just going to put a little thing together. All of you sort of do that. And then all of a sudden there's pins and logos and things. Anyway, what I wanted to say is a very tachlis thing. Again, sort of, playing off of what Reut said about the things we can do right now. I think that there are a lot of things that are happening, like conferences. I certainly know in North America, Hillel International, ICON, like there's gatherings of Jewish organizations where I think if there's someone from the Maccabi Women's Forum and we just start showing up and we come maybe with 2 or 3 different hats on, but one of them is the Maccabi Women's Forum, and start to speak that there is such a thing and that we are here as representatives, I think that will also gain some momentum in the Jewish world. So that's all I want to say. And thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
Sorry to speak again, but a really simple thing.
We love to hear you, Lisa.
Oh, I love you all. A really simple thing. I go to a lot of conferences, and the first time I ever go to a conference, they have a day or half a day for people who are brand new. and they give you almost like an orientation. Wow, what a situation to have an orientation of the organization. Many years ago, we almost got one for Maccabi World Union, but we need to actually do it. And it's not something that we need anyone's permission for. We just need to provide a couple of hours, even if it's only an hour, to sit in a room, mainly for women, but for men too, anyone who's brand new, to understand how the organization works. And immediately, not only do you understand how the organization works, but I get to meet Sam and she's new, and then I have a friend. So we all of a sudden, the two of us know each other and we don't feel so awkward going into everything else. So if we can do a small thing that every other world organization, every communal, every business organization does, we'll go into the 22nd century. Thank you.
Okay, so I really see from my side the room very touching, very moving. And I know that some of you has to go to their next meeting, so we'll want to take a picture of all of us in order to remember this powerful moment. I just want to say that once we will launch the campaign, we really, really need your help to spread it. We have our WhatsApp group that we started like 4 months ago. Ilana, we will send the link in the Congress group. So, okay, we have a WhatsApp for the. We will. Okay, so we'll the WhatsApp is very easy to use and interact. So we'll create a WhatsApp of all who came here and be part of it. What? And Ilana is asking that everybody will send her a picture, okay, a photo of him, a profile picture. And a short bio, as Claudia said, to introduce. Thank you very much. Let's go to the left part of the room. Atikva. Okay, Atikva. Sorry, we want to sing Atikva together.
Please rise.
Penima nefesh Yehudi Homiya Ulfatei Mizrach Kadima Ein LeTzion Tzofia Od lo avda תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.